This thing says my mother's still alive. She died when I was a kid.
Homer discovers that his mother was alive all along, but when he finally reunites with her, she has to leave again. The episode delivers a powerful lesson about the value of time and how some opportunities never come back. This episode starts rather sporadically, highlighting Homer's intellectual capacity, often described as that of a genuine man-child. It begins with a river cleanup day organized by Mr. Burns, Homer's boss, but in reality, it's just his employees doing the cleaning. Homer, always scheming to avoid work, has the brilliant idea to fake his own death for a day off. He climbs to the top of a waterfall and throws a dummy resembling himself off the cliff, making it appear as if he had a terrible accident, breaking every bone and crashing into the power plant machinery, an end to his great life dreams and goals. But of course, it was all just another one of Homer's elaborate excuses to skip work. In the end, he gets his wish and enjoys a day off, lounging in a deck chair, a shining example to Bart of what adult life and responsibility look like. But being present physically doesn't mean being responsible emotionally or educationally. Homer often acts impulsively, negligently, and immaturely. He yells at Bart, strangles him, a comedic exaggeration in the series, and rarely shows patience or tact when dealing with his son's problems. As a traditional father figure, Homer fails to convey solid values like discipline and empathy. After some time relaxing, the weight of responsibility starts to creep back in. While Marge handles household duties, she receives a visit from her church group, who are mourning Homer's supposed death. The news was confirmed by eyewitnesses and reported in the local paper. Lisa and Marge are baffled since Homer was just lazing on a lounge chair, but when they rush to prove he's alive, he mysteriously vanishes. When Marge's sisters arrive to celebrate Homer's death, she realizes the situation has gotten serious. This relationship needs to be viewed from several angles. From a human perspective, Homer and Marge's relationship is above all long-lasting and resilient. Marge, with her patience and sense of duty, balances Homer's flaws and childishness, and Homer, despite all his shortcomings, shows genuine love for Marge and their family. This type of relationship exists in real life. One partner is more rational, the other more impulsive or immature, with love being the glue holding it together. Their bond is marked by love, emotional imbalance, and tremendous resilience. You could call it a functional, dysfunctional relationship, full of flaws yet sustained by deep love, commitment, and the ability to forgive. It survives more through emotional connection than logic. Marge realizes the electricity is being cut off at home, along with her patience for Homer's antics, and demands he fix everything before things get worse. Homer Simpson's character deserves a deeper analysis. His personality satirizes the average American man, are undereducated, consumer-driven, stuck in routine, and emotionally clueless. He constantly seeks validation, either at work or from his children. He struggles between his selfish desires and his need to be a good father and husband. He messes up often, not out of malice, but ignorance or carelessness. Despite this, he has genuine moments of affection, especially with Marge and the kids. Thinking about his family's well-being, he goes to City Hall to sort out his not dead status. But in classic Homer fashion, he gets irritated with the clerk, who points out irregularities in the death record, including that Homer's mother is listed as still alive. Upset, Homer rushes to the cemetery where his father had shown him her grave. There he discovers it's all fake, a lie made up by his dad. Startled, as Homer lives in a constant state of fear and confusion, he falls into an open grave his own. After fainting, he wakes up to see an elderly woman deeply worried about him, his not-so-dead mother. Homer is totally confused. His whole life, he believed his mother died early, based on what his father told him. Astonished by the situation, and with limited intellectual capacity, he asks her where she's been. She awkwardly avoids the question. Homer brings his mother home to meet the family. Everyone is shocked but thrilled. Lisa and Bart are amazed to learn they have a grandmother. Bart seizes the moment to ask for all his overdue birthday presents, prompting Homer to strangle him. What a bad kid, taking advantage of Grandma. Marge is excited too. She finally has a mother-in-law. Marge is the emotional backbone of the Simpson family, the classic figure who keeps everything together even when the world collapses. She solves problems, raises the kids, keeps order, and shows infinite patience with Homer's mistakes and the struggles of motherhood. She often suppresses her feelings to avoid rocking the boat, bearing a heavy emotional burden without complaint. Meanwhile, Lisa boasts about her achievements to her grandmother, claiming to be the smartest in the family, only to be surprised when Grandma Mona reveals that she too won several intellectual awards and was highly intelligent. Lisa Simpson is without a doubt the brightest mind and most sensitive soul in the family, a prodigy in a world that rarely understands her. And this contrast makes her a powerful character, rational, highly intelligent, endlessly curious, an idealist who fights for justice, equality, animal rights, and environmental causes. She plays saxophone. loves literature, philosophy, and the arts. Emotionally fragile, often lonely, too mature for her age, thinking like an adult in a child's body. She questions gender roles and challenges norms from an early age, a true feminist. During their conversation, Lisa asks where Grandma's been all this time. Mona avoids the question, but Lisa notices her reacting to a passing police car, though clearly hiding something. Lisa begins to suspect that Grandma might not be who she claims to be. She tells Bart her suspicions that Grandma might be a criminal. Bart admits he already had doubts after finding several fake IDs and documents suggesting Mona has a shady past. The next day, Homer is overwhelmed with emotions, convinced that his mother abandoned him because he was a terrible son. Mona Simpson's absence during Homer's upbringing has deep emotional implications, shaping many of his traits. Her absence isn't just a plot device, it's a formative wound. It left a hole in Homer that was never filled. Craving affection, he seeks love and validation in the wrong places: food, alcohol, attention, all stemming from a lack of maternal love. That's why he constantly blames himself for his mother's disappearance. Lisa and Marge confront Mona, wanting to know the truth. Mona tries to make excuses. Lisa says they already know everything and threatens to call the police. That's when Mona tells her story. Mona was an intelligent, loving activist who had to go into hiding after protesting against Mr. Burns' corrupt corporation. When Homer was a child, she suddenly vanished. Lacking support from Grandpa Simpson, who spent all his time in front of the TV and wasn't much help, Homer got his limited intellect from him. Homer grew up believing she had left without explanation. Mona was progressive with a strong sense of justice. In the 60s and 70s, she joined movements against corporate corruption and government misconduct. After participating in a protest that destroyed part of Mr. Burns' lab, she became a wanted criminal. To protect herself and Homer, she fled and lived as a fugitive, unable to contact her son. Now everyone finally understands Mona's absence and the fake identities. Homer asks why she never reached out. She explains she sent letters from different cities every year. Marge then reveals that Homer never paid the postman, so he never received any mail. They head to the post office to pay the bill and collect the letters, but they're spotted by Mr. Burns, who calls the police and FBI. Not knowing what's coming, Mona cherishes her time with the family, writing a song with Lisa. When there's a knock at the door, everyone panics, but it's not the police, it's Grandpa Simpson. Shocked to see the woman who left him with the child, he reacts as expected, insults her, then awkwardly asks for sex. He's as much a comic as a tragic figure in the series. His relationship with Homer is distant, resentful, and occasionally tender. He tells long, rambling stories and complains about everything. He loves Homer and the grandkids, but doesn't know how to show it. Afterward, the family wants to enjoy their time together. Bart wears a cool shirt showing he's in tune with trends. Lisa feels both happy and sad, happy to meet someone as intelligent as her, and sad that it might be short-lived. Meanwhile, the FBI visits Marge's sisters, Patty and Selma, to dig into the family backgrounds. That evening, they enjoy a warm family dinner when the phone rings. Homer answers and is warned that the police are on their way to arrest his mother. Mr. Burns mobilized the police and FBI with tanks, air support, and a massive team to surround the house, but they were ready. By the time the authorities arrived, Mona had already fled with Homer. Grandpa Simpson stalled the search, while mother and son made it to a rendezvous point where a friend would take Mona to her next hideout. Homer is sad but also glad this time he's awake to receive his mother's warm goodbye kiss. "Don't worry, I'm proud of the man you've become. You'll always be a part of me." And then she's gone, knowing that things will be different now and maybe, just maybe, she'll visit again. Homer Simpson's abandonment by his mother, Mona Simpson, had a deep and lasting emotional impact on him throughout the Simpsons series. She left him as a child to go into hiding from the authorities after becoming involved in activism against Mr. Burns, and Homer grew up believing she had simply abandoned him without reason. Family struggles despite loving his family. Homer sometimes displays immature or irresponsible behavior, which can be interpreted as a reflection of his childhood. In episodes where Mona reappears, Homer becomes very emotional, showing that the wound of abandonment remains open even in adulthood. Homer's mother's disappearance was his first soul wound, a loss that shaped his fear of abandonment, emotional neediness, and confused way of loving. But even so, it left him with one certainty: he was loved, and it wasn't his fault she left.